Well, I have a project today that I decided I would share with all you YouTubers. Several years ago, I upgraded my telescope's eyepieces to these larger, higher quality eyepieces, and I had to get an adapter for it because the original one was like a 92 millimeter, and this one's 1.25 inches, so it's a lot bigger. But it didn't come with a dust cap. So today I've decided I'm gonna make a dust cap, because in the past I've been just sticking a rag down there or something. But I got a new primary mirror recently, and just last week, and installed it and aligned it and everything. So I just don't want to take any chances on getting any dust or anything down in there. So I said, let me build a dust cap for it. And what I'm going to use is sculpey. I haven't used this stuff in a long time. I used to use it a lot when my son was younger for customizing action figures and making different things, because what it is it's a modeling clay, but when you bake it, it turns really hard. It's plastic, so you can make these great objects with it. And then once it's been baked and it's hardened, you can drill it and sand it. You can do anything. This stuff's awesome. FedEx truck outside. Okay. You can pick this up at like Hobby Lobby. That's where I bought this, or Michael's, something like that. It's inexpensive. It's $1.77 and goes a long way. This is 2 ounces, but it goes a long way. So essentially, I just need to mold out a disc about that big, and then push it down in there to take the shape of it, so that it'll seal nicely, and then bake it in the oven for a few minutes, and then I'll have a dust cap. Okay, let's make our dust cap. So I'm just going to pull off a chunk of this and put it on. You don't want to put this on like the countertop, because it can stain. So this is what I'm going to bake it on anyway, so might as well just use that. So I'm just going to, with my hands, form a disc. This should be fine. And then I'm gonna use a Sharpie to kind of smooth it out like you would a rolling pin. Actually, just like a rolling pin. This is really cool stuff. There's a lot of neat things once you start playing with it. You're like, I could do this, I could do that. Actually made and it comes in a lot of different colors. I'm really impressed with the colors. I guess people use it for making beads and stuff, but it comes in so many different colors. Oh, that's the oven. Gotta preheat the oven because you want to bake it in a 275 degree oven for 15 minutes for every 1/4 of an inch. Double check that. Yeah, 15 minutes per 1/4 of an inch. So it's about a 1/4 of an inch. It's pretty even. It's a lot like Play-Doh. And then I've taken the adapter ring off of the telescope, so I can bring it in and easily do this. It'd be a lot easier to do it here. So I'm basically going to use this adapter as a cookie cutter, and then cut that, or at least make an imprint And then there we have it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around that with an X-Acto knife and trim that down so that it'll be, you know, flush with that, and then it'll look nice. Okay, be back in just a minute. Okay, trimmed off all the excess. Had that much left over, so just, you know, wad it back up, stick it back on. Make sure that you wrap this up really good because it will dry out. So just keep it sealed. I'll put that in a plastic bag later. And I actually use this. This is a tool for working with putty. It's a really great tool for cutting. Very sharp, very pointy, and it's got this little tool for shaping. It's a good little tool. Now I've gone ahead and trimmed this off and shaved some of this little bit of excess off that didn't look good, and then I wanted to double check this with the adapter, make sure that it fits nicely. Fits perfectly. You can't get any better. It's a custom fit. And I was going to say earlier when I was talking about the different colors, I made a really cool little Green Lantern for a vintage Green Lantern figure, and I made it out of green sculpey, and it turned out great. I'd show it to you, but I gave it to a friend of mine last year who's a big Green Lantern fan, and he just loved it. So I might have to make another one. So that looks good. And I put this on a paper plate because I didn't want to do the cutting on the aluminum foil because I was afraid I would cut into the foil, maybe scratch the counter. So just put it on a paper plate. We're all set to go. So I'm going to put this in the oven for 15 minutes, 275-degree oven, and then let it cool down, and then check it and make sure it fits properly. And I'll probably end up taking the Dremel to it and just sanding the edge a little bit, just kind of, you know, make it look professional. But yeah, I think that'll work just fine. Cool. Okay, 15 minutes, 275-degree oven. Got my lens cap, or dust cap, dust cover, whatever you want to call it. Nice solid, hard solid plastic disc. Fits perfectly. Should. It's custom made for this adapter. I'm just going to hit it with a sander, with the Dremel, with the sander. Just kind of knock off some of those rough edges. Smooth that out a little bit. You don't really need to do it. I mean, this is the job it's intended for. Keep dust out of my telescope. So there you have it. It's great stuff.